So this is an air squat, one of the movements you'll find yourself doing a whole bunch, but we've got a couple things to look at. First, we got the stance. Stance is gonna be about a shoulder width stance, so your heels are in line with your shoulders. The toes are gonna be slightly pointed out, depending on your level of flexibility. You might be able to turn them in a bit, but just slightly out. The weight's gonna be balanced about the foot, not too far back in the heel, not in the toe, more midfoot. And the idea here is you send your butt back and down and go all the way down till your hip is clearly below your knee. Looks like this, back and down, till when you look down at this, and Cheryl's little tiny short legs here, your hip is clearly below the knee, okay? Now stand on back up. Standards are important. They're important for life. They're also important for movement. So make sure you're trying to do your very best, if you can move pain-free, to keep that weight back and down and keep going all the way down until the hip crease is clearly below the knee. Another thing to look at in the squat is making sure we're not going way up into our toes or anything crazy like that. It's just staying back in those heels, flat-footed, and going all the way down. Now another thing is stand all the way up at the top. So this is all the way up. Show me not all the way up, which is kind of bent. Nice, okay. That's not all the way up. Try to stand all the way up at the top. If you need to feel what that feels like, just go ahead and squeeze your butt, not with your hand, but with your actual butt muscles, and that'll help you feel that top position. And that's what we got. That is the air squat. All right, these are plank holds. We've got side planks, we've got forearm planks, we've got hand planks, we've got some scales for them. So just a basic plank is gonna be in a push-up position, hips not too high, hips not too low, body nice and rigid. Way we can also scale this is drop to our knees. She dropped to her forearms there, but drop to her knees, and this is what it's gonna look like here. Same sort of rigid body, but now we're just on our knees. It kind of makes that a little bit easier. We also have a forearm plank, like she was showing you before, where you can plank on your forearms there. And then we have a side plank, and a side plank's a little weird where you hold your feet, but you basically shift to your side, get your feet together, and try to keep the hips in line with the whole body. What you'll tend to see is hips hang like this. Show me sagging hips, Tez. But try to avoid that. Try to keep the hips up and in that straight line of the body. Obviously, the other side would be the other side. Those are our planks. So this is a push-up and the different variations of a push-up. Basically, you're gonna look to get your body out nice and flat. Good, pretty plank here. Go all the way down to your chest touches the ground, and you press all the way back up to your elbow locks out. Rather than shortening up the range of the push-up, so don't do a half push-up, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna go to your knees. You do a push-up where you go to your knees, touch your chest to the ground, come back up. So you make it a little bit easier with where you're holding. Another thing you can do is you can elevate that. You can even go on your knees and elevate it. So go over, she'll show you on the box here. So basically go on your knees, elevate it up, go down till you touch your chest. But the same thing applies. We want the same range of motion. Chest touches the object, elbows lock out at the top. That's our push-up and some variations. So this is a kickback. A kickback is like a burpee minus the push-up part of it. So you basically come to the ground, kick your feet back, bring your feet up, jump and clap. Another way you can do this is by stepping back. So instead of kicking your feet back, you step back and then jump back through, bam. Big thing with this is stay rigid through your stomach. So basically flex through your midline and your abs. We don't want to be sagging the hips there too much, irritating that back.